Hey everybody, in this tutorial I'm going to talk about how you can save the various features of your characters such as morph sliders and hair and stuff like that, and also how you can export your character into iClone. So we're going to have a lot of fun doing that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the character we have on the screen right now. We have this female character. This is an auto-generated female character created using the auto mode in Headshot. Go up to Headshot here, you can see the original image here. And as always, auto will generate a automatic hair for your character. Okay, so this is the hair that we have on here. Now, if you want to save your hair, you can go to your content manager. The easiest way to do that is go to your content manager, go over here to your base, and under hair, under the custom tab, you can save it right here. Now, what I recommend doing is getting a nice close-up of your character so you can, focus on the hair, even though it doesn't look really good in the viewport right now. But when you go down here and press the plus key, it's going to generate a thumbnail like that. And we'll just call this HS for headshot and test. All right. So that's the hair that we tested on our character. And we can throw in a bunch of other, custom hairs that I've saved there from previous characters. You can see a bunch of various types of hair with various results. And that's how you can basically save your hair on your character. Okay, that's a really simple process. The next thing we're going to talk about is how to consolidate your morph sliders, okay? Now, what I mean by that is when I created this character's face with Headshot, if we go over here to the Morphs tab, you can see if I go up to Currently Used, there's a whole bunch of Headshot sliders that I use to really optimize and make the character look a lot more accurate, okay? So if you go down here, you can see there's a whole ton of them right there. And if we wanted to, save this head out, or if we want to, save all the modifications we've made here, we want to consolidate them into one single slider. Then the easiest thing to do is go up to Create, and we can create head and body morph sliders. Okay. Now, in this first case, we're going to generate a head and body. Okay. That's going to create a slider under the body section here, under the body folder, as well as one under the head folder down here. Okay, so let's go ahead and call this, let's call it something like female. Okay, the morph will be called female. And if we tab down, we can select the path. So the path is going to be the name here that you see under the body folder. Okay, we'll call this HS test. Okay, just to keep things consistent. And press OK. All right, so what that's done here is that's created a HS test folder here under body. Okay, so this is your typical female body that we've just saved as a single slider. And if we take that down to 0, you can see our character will pop back into that kind of androgynous, genderless type of body. And we can increase that to create more of a female body. Okay, easy enough. And the cool thing that we've done here as well is we've also, under the head section, under the head folder here, we've created one called HS test and female head. Okay, so if we take this female head slider all the way down, it's going to go back into a more, genderless type of head expression or head facial features, collection of facial features. And we can take that back up to 100 to make it appear more like the facial features that are on our original source image here. Okay, so that's really all there is to it. I've saved a body and a head slider. Now, what you can also do is you can save your skin and morph to the content library as well. Okay, so if you want to quickly apply this to your character, you can do that. Let's go to the content tab up here, and we're going to go here into skin and morph. All right, and with our character selected and the custom tab, obviously, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and press the plus key. Okay, now we have the option here to select full character actor type or just the head. Okay, I'm going to choose full character for my first generation here, and it's going to save the skin and morph data of our character in the content library. Okay, you can see here, we'll just call it HS test. Okay, and that will be saved under avatar preset in the full body folder here. Okay. So if I were to go ahead and start a new project here, let's go ahead and press no. We don't need to save it for now. It'll pop up with our default character here for a Character Creator 3 with the bikini, female character. And you may want to make a note here that the hair is always saved separately from the eye avatar. So if we go down here to full body and HS test and we double click that to apply it, we can apply the morph, we can apply the texture. Okay. And it's going to apply the default head color to the body as well, but it's not going to apply the hair. Okay, so iAvatar and hair are always saved separately. So what we can do then is go down to our hair folder here, and we saved the custom hair HS test right here. We can just go ahead and apply it to our character. Just like that, and there you go. Okay, so we have the character that we've saved with the female morph and the facial morphs as well. And if we go to HS test slider for the female head, we can take that down back to androgynous and take it back up to 100, and so on and so forth. Now, if we only want to save the head separately, then we can do that as well by simply going into the content custom tab here again. We don't have to go into the head folder right away, but we can. We just go ahead and press the plus key. Let's make sure we're at a good distance for a nice head thumbnail here. Again, you may want to try and copy these custom ones that I have here. A nice close up like this, and press the plus key. And this time we're only going to select head and press OK. And we'll just call this HS test for the head. Okay. And that's going to save the head separately. And again, the hair is saved separately from the head and the body, so you can apply that separately. Okay, so now I've loaded in a new project, so let's review what we've done so far. We've created a custom head morph right here. We've created a custom hair, which you can find right here and apply separately from the head. And we've also also saved a full body. Okay, so full body morph, including the head and the body. All right, so what we're going to do next is we're just going to go ahead and save the current character's morph sliders separately, so we can have a temporary slider to move back and forth when we apply the other stuff. So let's go ahead and do that. Again, same process by going up to create and head and body morph sliders. Let's just go ahead and body. We'll call this one, female morph name, and we'll just call it temp. Okay. For the path, and go ahead and press OK. Okay, so now you can see we have a folder called temp under the body, and that's the female body. We can take that up and down, as you can see right there, from an androgynous female to your typical female body. And if we go down here, we can also see the temp folder under head as well, and the female head. If we take that down, it's going to go back to our basic genderless androgynous type of head there. Get a better look at it if we zoom in there. Okay. And the texture is still the same. However, the morph has changed. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the character's head with the head that we saved. Now, before we do that, what I want to do is I want to neutralize all these sliders on our character's head. So again, currently used. We're going to just keep the female body. It doesn't really matter since we're only going to be replacing the head here. And let's go over to head. And once I replace my character's head by double-clicking it, it's going to replace the head. We're going to apply the morph, the texture, as well as the head color to the body, and select apply. Okay, so what that's done is that's replaced all of the skin texture there and kept the morphs and everything. The morphs on the face have been replaced. The facial skin texture has been replaced. And if we go to currently used, we can see female head, take it back to the androgynous one or the custom one that we created. And if we want to apply that hair, we can apply that separately again by going to hair and replacing that same hair that we had as well. Okay, so there's our character, just different clothing, but the skin color and facial morphs are all the same. And again, you can replace any of these, hair and skin combinations. If you want to replace with this character, for example, we can apply all of this stuff, the texture, the head morph, and all that. Will it be replaced? You can notice a marked difference in the skin texture and the character's appearance. However, we don't have anything in the slider, in the currently used sliders, because we saved it into the content library. We didn't save a separate slider. Okay, and then you can go to your hair. You can replace the hair as well. With this character, for example, it'll just replace like this. And voila, we have the same character, same pose, same clothing and everything. However, we've just replaced the skin texture, the facial morphs, and the hair separately. Okay, let's try one more example here. If we go to head, let's try a darker skinned female character. Apply her. And again, we're going to apply all the same stuff. There you go. And we'll check the hair again. We'll apply the hair one more time. Just like this. All right. So there you go. That's how easy it is to save and reapply stuff in Character Creator 3 from the content library, as well as custom head and body morph sliders. Okay, let's take a look now at how we can export this to iClone. There's a couple of really easy ways to do this. One way is to go up here to export iAvatar. Okay, if you select export iAvatar, it's going to prompt you to define the max texture size, and the detailed quality of your character's clothing. Okay, and you can also use Insta-LOD if you want. I'm not going to do this right now because I'm going to show you an easier way. And the easiest way is just to actually click on this button up here, which sends your character directly into iClone. Okay, so once we click that, it's going to apply our character to the scene root in iClone. And there you go, the character has finished importing into iClone. You can see her right here. And if you want to save this character, very easy to do so. Again, get a perspective of the character. You can go over here to your Content tab, under Actor, under Custom. You can go to Avatar, and simply press the plus key here. Make sure everything's selected, press the plus key, and you can save your character that way. As my avatar, we'll just call it Female 8, okay, because that's the character that we imported in there. And so that's how easy it is to import your character into iClone, and you can go over here to the Motion tab, and then apply a simple Motion Plus to your character. We have one that's embedded with iClone. Since iClone 6, we have this Heidi Talk. You can see here, if we play back, our character will be fully functional.
Please have a seat, and let's start the class by trying to remember what we reviewed last week, what was covered, and your summaries about the lesson, as I am pretty sure that most of you do have an opinion about both sides of it.
Alright, enough of that lecture. So that's really all there is to it, guys. Basically, creating your own morph sliders in Character Creator 3 from Headshot, as well as creating your body and head sliders, and saving to the content library your character's hair, character's body, and character's head separately. Alright, so thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you learned a lot in this tutorial. And as always, make sure to check out our other Headshot tutorials in our Learning Center. And I hope to see you in the next video.